If you're wanting to make a big change that lasts, you can't start with a big change. Start with one small change, one small doable choice that gets easier over time. You don't have to do big changes to change your life. One change, one choice can change absolutely everything for you.
Do you miss having time for Jesus and yourself, but you're drowning in the responsibilities of motherhood? If so, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Cheryl, wife, girl mom, and Jesus follower. I learned the not-so-secret ways to become the mom my girls needed by prioritizing Jesus back into my mom life and reclaiming my identity in Christ. If you're ready to build faith while washing dishes, rediscover your identity, and love yourself like your babies do, grab your earbuds and lock that bathroom door for a minute alone. It's time for Mom.
Hi, beautiful, and welcome to the Time for Mom podcast. I'm your host, Cheryl. If you have loved the Time for Mom podcast, I would encourage you to sign up for our newsletter. Starting in January, which is like 2 days from now, you will be getting an exclusive weekly devotion on Monday delivered right to you, and there is an audio version as well as a readable version, and there will be a monthly newsletter. Do it for yourself because those weekly devotions can be so much fun and just give you just a little bit more to feed your soul. Now let's get on with today's episode. Today is 2 days before New Year's. As crazy as that seems, we are almost to 2026. That's just nuts. But as we approach it, inevitably, I start thinking about goals, New Year's goals for personal, for business, and I always am checked because while New Year's goals are great, I have never successfully had a New Year's goal, ever. It's just crazy. But today we're going to talk about how to make that one choice rather than those big, gigantic goals of losing 20 pounds and getting back to pre-baby weight, or memorizing the entire Bible, or journaling every day for exactly 32 minutes, or, the goals, they're kind of like that. Or going from a stay-at-home mom to a work-from-home mom and bringing in 50% extra money for the year, which, none of us can really control that. So we're going to go with one choice we can do. A couple of years ago, I was at my wit's end. I had a baby, a toddler, and a very sick husband. And I don't mean like cold sick. I mean chronically ill and fighting for his very ability to walk. I had poured myself into my family, tried to stay consistent at my office job in our church, but inside and probably outside, I was drowning. I was asked to step down from my position at church for a lot of reasons. One was because I wasn't representing our church very well. I was a complete basket case, and I was not a nice person. The other reason is because of how life was going at that moment. Everyone could see that I was drowning, and I needed to get a free hand so I could start treading water instead of drowning. I was watching my oldest not know what to do, and I'm weeping, trying to get them ready for bed, and my husband was in the middle of a mental battle, literally for his life. And in that moment of drowning, I knew I had to make some changes. All I was doing was waking up and staggering to get my daughter. I had no time for myself. I hadn't read my Bible in ages. I was disconnected. My relationship with the Lord was completely stagnant. I don't even think I'd had the energy to do emergency praying at that point. I was just surviving. I was stuck in fight or flight, and I couldn't decide which one of those I wanted to do, if I wanted to fight or if I wanted to flight, so I guess I was in the freeze. There was a lot that I knew had to change, but I only had the capacity to try and change one thing. I didn't go out and find a regular babysitter. I didn't institute daily Bible reading or quiet time. I didn't spend an hour in prayer every day. I didn't decide to escape every day or a week or do something that I wanted. All I did was set an alarm and get up 1 hour earlier. That's it. I decided to wake up earlier before everybody else, and that's all I needed to do to start a snowball of change that has been life-altering in amazing ways. Where I am now is nothing compared to where I was. I was drained and a basket case and maybe a slightly mental. And where I am now I have a relationship with God. I'm hearing from God. I'm able to show my kids how to have a relationship with God instead of just sitting on the floor in a puddle of tears, which, I am still human, so that does happen, but it's more often in the shower than the floor. But as you go forward in your new year, I want to give you 3 questions to ask yourself instead of just setting all of the standard goals of losing weight and being a better person and doing this and doing that. The first question I would like you to ask yourself is, are your New Year's resolutions or current goals set by you, or are they set by God? I have a goal of getting 10 downloads when every episode drops, but that's a me goal. It's not a God goal. On the other hand, I have a goal of learning how to control my temper when my kids are pushing my butt. That is a God goal, and He has been goading me and nudging me towards that goal for over a year because He knows it's something that needs to change in me. Who is setting your goals? Is it you or is it God? The second one, what are your motives? What is the root of your decision to make that goal? If you want to get healthy so you can fit into the same jeans you wore before your children widened your pelvis by 3 inches, honestly, that's not a good enough reason. That won't motivate you. There is a thing in AA where they urge their alcoholics to find motivation, and most of them find that in their family. They put pictures of their kids and their wives everywhere, or if they're a woman, their husbands. They put pictures everywhere, like on their visor, in their mirrors, on their steering wheel, on their phone. Literally everywhere they look, they have a reminder of why they want to stay sober. And if you're needing to get healthy, honestly, fitting into your jeans is not going to be a good enough reason to keep you motivated. I know for me, it wasn't. Absolutely not 100%. That was a hopeless ideal of fitting into those jeans. But what was motivating for me, I needed to stay healthy to be able to hold my family together. That is why I got healthier. Number 3, what can you stop doing? Not what can you add onto your plate. What can you step away from? What can you lay down? What can you give up? What can you say no to? We are vessels, and vessels have a limited capacity. Maybe it's just me, and I don't think it is, but moms are really good at taking up more and more and more things because, you all know those people where you're like, I can ask this person and they'll tell me yes. And those tend to be moms, at least in my life. But really, other than breastfeeding our babies, and even that, someone else can do, technically speaking, or they could bottle feed, there's nothing that we can't have someone else do or someone else could do for us. There's nothing. That being said, there are some things that we absolutely should be doing, like caring for our family, like breastfeeding our own babies. But what is God calling you to stop doing? Because I believe there are things in our lives. We are so busy. We are just consumed with productivity and with doing. And we've forgotten that rest is a commandment. We have forgotten that God comes first, then our husband, then our children. And way down that list is work. Listen to that. Work is not our priority. Productivity is not our priority. Doing all the things because society expects us to is not our priority. Our priority needs to be God first, then our husbands, then our kids, and then everything else can fall into line. So what can you step away from? I know I am in a transition of stepping away from things because my husband had a really, really hard conversation with me a week ago, and I realized how true it was. So I'm in a season of transition and looking at what I can step away from. And in doing, I am also looking at what I can assign my children and what I can ask my husband to do, even with all of his health issues, and what I can simply say no to. Because if I'm paying attention to what my spirit is doing and the rolling that it does whenever I say yes to something that I'm really not supposed to, I can revisit that feeling and start stepping down from things. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So my kids are now responsible 100% for unloading the dishwasher. And in case you're wondering, a 2 and a 5-year-old can totally handle this. It is not too much for them, even if it's glass. Maybe not heavy glass, but they can do it. My oldest, my 5-year-old, is now 100% responsible with putting food away after dinner. And you know what? She's really good at that. That's something that I don't have to put on myself. And just saying no to those little things and finding ways to ask other people to help you will help you get to a healthier place mentally, spiritually, and physically. If you're wanting to make big changes that last, you cannot start with big. You have to start with one small change. One small doable choice that gets easier over time. You don't have to do big changes to change your life. One change is all it takes. One choice is all it takes. It can change absolutely everything for you.
I am hosting a Time for Mom breakthrough workshop at the end of January.
If you are feeling stuck and you don't know how to step away and get into that healthier place, especially spiritually,
we will walk through simple ways for you to find the time you've been searching for. Time for God, your family, and even yourself. Motherhood is exhausting, and sometimes you just need a friend to talk things through. Go to bit.ly/Time for Mom workshop to subscribe and get all the details before everyone else.
I'll have a link in the show notes. Until next week, mamas, as we prepare for this new year, I pray that you are seeking God and asking Him what He would have you do and what He would have you not do. Because you don't have to do everything. You are an amazing person, but you don't have to do everything. Until next week, mamas, I pray that as you're journeying through your week, that God is just present in your life and He is nudging you towards those changes that He needs you to make, that He wants you to make, because you have an incredible calling on your life. And it is both in your family, in your home, and outside your home. And I just pray that God starts revealing that to you. Love, Cheryl.
Hey, beautiful. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds to share this with a mom who is wading through those mounds of laundry and dishes and wishing for just a little me time? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It makes my day to know this podcast has helped you. Well, it's time for me to wash more dishes and cook more food. I'll meet you next Wednesday for another episode. Until then, may the God of grace fill you with His peace.